Happy Victory Monday. Welcome into our live edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. Saints fans, we finally got the news we've been waiting for. Tyler Shough seems to be, he could be the answer. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but we're enjoying the good vibes because we're 3-10 and we can. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. Got a lot of fun content around Tyler Shough and around the Saints offense in the future and why you should get excited and buy stock now as a Saints fan. And if you're a fan that's a free agent, I know the Saints aren't that appealing, but I got a pretty good case for why you should start believing in the black and gold in the future and why it's so bright. Thank you to I Love Football, by the way, who sent in a super chat before we even got live here on the show. He said, Elijah Vera Tucker, do you think he would be a good fit? So Elijah Vera Tucker, first-round pick out of USC in 2021. He was the 14th overall selection by the New York Jets. He's been out for the 2025 season for the whole year due to a torn tricep. He tore it in practice early in September. So, in terms of the player, I think that he's somebody who could be an interesting guy to bring in. He has been fairly successful as a guard. Cesar Ruiz has not been somebody that I've been impressed with, but I need to do a little bit more research on whether or not he could be a good fit in Kellen Moore's offense and all that. But in terms of, am I interested in the player? Absolutely. I'm looking to upgrade at the guard position, and I would prefer to build in that spot of the roster in free agency instead of just drafting and developing. I'd rather just go and buy somebody who can come in and do a good job off the rip. I'm okay with that. But in terms of it, do I think he could be somebody the Saints target? Absolutely. I think that's somebody the Saints should go and target because the guard position definitely needs an upgrade. Is Tyler Shough the guy? We're talking a lot. It's Shuck, and we're getting shucked up here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Give me a yes or give me a no. In our live poll, I asked, has Tyler Shough impressed you so far? 93% of people have said yes. We have over 60 votes. I see 92% say yes. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Lopez is spamming yes in the chat. Blue Jay is typing yes. Lopez is going crazy with the yeses. Denola Chop Podcast, yes. And yes. Who Dat Nation, yes. K Swill, that's I Love Football, says yes. Caden says yes. Who Dat Nation, yes. Rim says yes. Rocco says yes. Blue Jay, Jerry G, yes. Who Dat Nation says yes. Mr. Duck. We need more tight ends and wide receivers. I totally agree with you, Darren White. I totally agree with you. Jerry G says yes. Blue Jay, yes. Give him credit. He looks better than I expected. I honestly didn't think there was going to be much hope. Hey, got to give him a lot of credit. He has been impressive. If you tell me he hasn't been impressive, I'm sorry. I don't know. But in terms of he's the guy, look, I think that he has what it takes to be him. And I have a pretty good case for why I believe that. I'm not going to sit here and say that we should build a statue for him, but for the immediate future, and at least throughout his rookie contract, hell yeah, I think that he should get the opportunity to be the guy, and I think that he can be. And I think that he's somebody that the Saints should build around. I think that he is somebody who can be the guy. I was not the biggest fan of the pick at the time, but I kept saying throughout the year, please prove me wrong. And I'm so glad that I was wrong at the time. And I'm so glad a lot of us were wrong because a lot of people wanted this guy or that guy or this guy or that guy to be the quarterback or to be the pick of the 40th overall selection. Things worked out, I would say, so far, giving you reasons for optimism. I'd say things are working out fairly well. I Love Football also saying Danny Stutzman had a good game as well. He's the guy. And I feel like Danny Stutzman really wasn't all that active yesterday, but I do think that he is somebody who's going to be a bright future or has a bright future in New Orleans. I think he's going to be a key part of this defense moving forward in Brandon Staley. I was not a fan of the pick. So glad he proved everyone wrong from Isaiah. I can't speak today. Goodness gracious. Jigsaw says, I want to see the Saints be a watchable football team again. Hey, it was ugly yesterday, but a win is pretty watchable to me, so I'll enjoy it while I can. It's blessing we got Shuck. I agree. I agree. Dude, I can't speak. I can't speak today. Jerry G says it's a blessing we got Shuck.
We could have been on perfect timing, though. We could have.
But we're getting shucked up instead. Denola Chop Podcast. If y'all not down with Tyler Shough as our franchise QB, I got 2 words for you. Shuck it! Shout out to Denola Chop. Blue Jay. I think the Saints win out. Is that a crazy take? So, moving forward, This is also the build-up portion of the content. We're about to get into the Tyler Shough hype here in just a minute. Last few games for the New Orleans Saints. Carolina at home, Jets at home, on the road to Tennessee, and on the road to Atlanta. It's not crazy to say you can win those 4 games. I'm going to be honest. I think that's outdated now. You Gucci. I think that's definitely a possibility for what it's worth. All right, we're going to get into the content. If you guys want to get on the show, use hashtag Saints, send in a super chat. If you want to skip the line, you want us to spend a little extra time on your question, please send in a super chat. And we don't need you guys to do that today because we can get you guys pretty much all featured for free. If you just use hashtag Saints, ask a question, share a hot take, talk about the Saints, talk about Tyler Shough, talk about the future. Let's have a conversation. We like to put the chat in Chat Sports. So hang out with us, lock us in, subscribe today, and we're going to talk about why I believe Tyler Shough can be the guy and why he should be the guy, and it's going to be a really, really fun live show. I'm excited to dive into it here on the channel. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. My guy Loco Lopez on the ones and twos today. We're going to be hanging out here for the next 30, 40 minutes, and, as long as you guys want to keep talking ball, we'll keep hanging out as well. So the New Orleans Saints finally get the news they've been waiting for. Quarterback, answer. Looks like it's here. Future, very bright. That's some news we've been waiting for. We've been hearing a lot of bad news around this team for the last few years. It's finally time we get some good news. So I'm going to tell you why I believe Tyler Shough can be the franchise QB to start things off, and then we're going to get into our mailbag portion of the show at the end of the live program. My name's Trizzy. That's Loco Lopez. Let's get this party started. I believe Tyler Shough has what it takes to be the franchise quarterback, and here's why. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. I'm going to break down why I think Tyler Shough has what it takes to lead this team to the promised land, potentially be the guy for the foreseeable future. But at least right now, I think we can all agree that Tyler Shough has impressed a lot of us. And he's been much better than what a bunch of us anticipated, me included. And I'm glad that he's proving us wrong. For what it's worth, I know that there's still a lot of mistakes that can be fixed, but I do think that there's a lot of reasons for optimism with the rookie quarterback. And Tyler Shough, I'm super excited to see what he has in store for the future with this franchise. Now, do you think that Tyler Shough can be the franchise QB? Give me a yes or a no. Share your thoughts in the comment section. I don't know what you guys think, but I want to have the conversation, so make sure you sound off, and I'll make sure I respond to you. So first things first, I'm going to tell you why I think Tyler Shough can be the guy. I got a handful of reasons for you. I got a pretty good case, I like to think, on this one. So with Tyler Shough, he elevates the roster. For what it's worth, I feel like ever since he took over the Saints offense, I feel like it's been a much better unit. And I'm not trying to disrespect any of the former quarterbacks by any means, but it just feels like this team, like there's reasons for more hope than just, oh my gosh, we're almost winning games, or we're getting so close to, we're getting right there, we're right over the cusp. We are winning games, and we are seeing good development, and we are seeing a guy step up and be a leader, and we're seeing somebody step up and be him, and that guy that has the it factor, and that's exactly what Tyler Shough has been doing. I think that he makes not just the entire offense better, I think he's making this roster better. Imagine if Tyler Shough had his entire arsenal available. I mean, think about guys that are on the IR right now. Jalen Polk, you got Trey Palmer, Alvin Kamara is dealing with an injury. Eric McCoy's out on IR. You have Kendre Miller on IR. You traded away Rashid Shaheed. You cut Brandon Cooks. Imagine if he had his full arsenal here. Imagine if he had a little bit better of an offensive line in the interior positions especially. Imagine if he had an extra weapon or two. I mean, come on. He's already doing some pretty impressive things with not the greatest situation in the world. I like to think if you make it a little bit of a better situation, it's going to be a much better product. And the Saints need to do right by Tyler Shough. They need to make sure that they are not wasting his rookie contract, because even if he isn't the answer long term, you at least need to do the right thing and build around him and give him the opportunity to succeed. And if he fails, guess what? You have a roster that's built, ready to win, and all you need is a quarterback, and you just plug one in, and you would more than likely have an opportunity to get a pretty good one if you can't win a lot of games. Now, with Tyler Shough, I do think that it's important to invest around him. Get the offensive line situated. Bring in some more rushing attack, or bring in something to increase the rushing attack. Bring in more weapons in terms of receivers and tight ends. I think that that's something that the Saints need to do. And I think that it's a really cool story, or not a story, but I think it's like a really cool situation that Tyler Shough has been in. He dealt with all the injuries in college. He dealt with all the adversity that I went through, and he never stopped believing himself. And even throughout his pre-draft process, and even throughout the early stages of his rookie season, when he wasn't on the field and throughout training camp, he had never wavered on his belief in himself. And you're now seeing the team and the fan base start believing in him too. And I think that that's something that's really special, and I think that that's something that we should have a lot of optimism for. Again, this isn't knocking any other quarterback or anybody else who's been a passer for this team. This is simply just saying, man, Tyler Shough is showing us some things that you can really believe in and really get excited about. I think that he's also displaying some really clear development. In my opinion, it's very obvious to see that Tyler Shough, even when you go back to his college tape, even when you go to the preseason and his first few games, he has gotten better each time he takes the field. I think that he's shown a lot of growth in a lot of different areas. The biggest ones, in my opinion, his pocket presence, his footwork. I think that he looks more comfortable. I think he looks more confident. I think he looks more like a leader. Like, he looks more like an NFL quarterback every time he takes a snap. And I think that Tyler Shough is somebody that is showing that he can grow at a rapid rate. And I think part of that is due to the age and the experience. And that was a knock for him. A lot of people made fun of the Saints for taking a 26-year-old rookie, 25-year-old rookie, however old it was. Look at him now. He's the best one in the class. He's outperforming every other rookie quarterback. He looks like somebody who you can truly buy into for the future of this franchise. Again, I'm not saying we should build the statue. I'm not saying retire his jersey. I'm not saying hang it up in the rafters. I'm saying he's giving you reasons for hope. And I got to say, for what it's worth, I think his athleticism severely underrated. And we've always known that he was able to use his legs. We've always known that straight line speed is there. But, I mean, when you see him on the field, I mean, even I went back and rewatched the rushing attempts that he had, not just against the Buccaneers, but all the times he's been evading pressure and taking it for positive yardage. I mean, the dude's got wheels. Like, I'm not saying that they're the same player, but damn it, he gives me some Josh Allen vibes. Like, I really get this vibe from Tyler Shough, that he's somebody who has a really nice arm. He has the intangibles. He is a leader. He is a smart football player. He is a tough SOB, and he's been through adversity, and he wants to win. He knows how to win. I get that same vibe from Josh Allen, and I get it from Tyler Shough. And to be totally honest, I love that we have a mobile quarterback. I love that we have somebody who can use his legs not just to buy himself out of a situation, but to give the Saints another element to the offense and give it more depth and give it a bigger ability to succeed. I think that it opens up more possibilities, and I think that it's something that really doesn't put a limit on what this offense can do. Kellen Moore has been known to be a creative offensive mind. The play calling hasn't been amazing. That's totally fair to say. But again, let's let the roster get better. Let's get out with the old, in with the new. Let Kellen Moore build this thing the way he wants it to, and let's have some faith, because I just really do believe we're seeing some really good signs. Now, I want to encourage you to join the Golden Gang. If you enjoyed the content you've been watching so far and you haven't subscribed already, we put out daily videos by Saints fans for Saints fans. And for what it's worth, I'm a competitive guy. I'm just like Tyler Shough. I want to win every single week. So last week, we got 12 subscribers in one video. I want to beat it with this video. So hit the sub button if you're a diehard Saints fan and you want daily Saints content on your YouTube feed. Now let's talk more about Shough. I think that with him, he's somebody that is a tough leader, and I think that he's a fearless competitor, and I think that that's what a quarterback needs to be successful in the NFL. The Saints are not winning with Tyler Shough helping and just steering the ship. Tyler Shough is the full captain. Like, he is not just kind of guiding this offense and just making sure it gets by. The Saints are winning because of Tyler Shough. The Saints beat the Panthers because the defense played awesome, but because Tyler Shough made a ton of plays. They beat the Buccaneers because the defense did their job, and Tyler Shough executed. Sure, the stats weren't insane, and they didn't light up the sheets, But he did what he needed to as an 8.5-point underdog, and they went into an opposing stadium against an NFC South rival in bad weather, and he went down and got a win. The Saints are winning because of Tyler Shough. That is something that you should be excited about. And I think when it comes to Tyler Shough, there's a lot of things to talk about with this player. And I want to talk about his resilience, and I have even more things to prove why he can be the guy. But first things first, we got to talk about the number one thing, which is PrizePicks, the sponsor of today's video. I really do appreciate PrizePicks for helping us make today's show possible. I play PrizePicks every single game day, and I think you should too. We got a pretty sweet deal for you. If you use code CLNS after you download the PrizePicks app, you can get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports. In bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening at once. And while we're out here making decisions every day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, and which games to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. My favorite thing about PrizePicks is picking multiple players in the same lineup. With basketball back, I can put Derek Queen and Chris Olave in the same lineup and root for both to pop off. And I've been having a lot of success with Tyler Shough in the PrizePicks front because, hey, he's a baller, and he's been helping me cash out every single week. Now, we got some fun football in Louisiana. I know that LSU didn't make the playoff. I know that the Saints season hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. But Tulane, they have an opportunity to go shock the world and go win in the college football playoff. I'm taking Arnold Barnes more on his rushing and receiving touchdowns, and I'm taking Caden Lee on his more on rushing and receiving touchdowns. You just got to find the end zone once. If both of these players find the end zone one time, you put $20 down, guess what? You win $260. That is electric. And we got a brand new feature on PrizePicks. It now has early payouts. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Use that code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on PrizePicks, where it's always good to be right. Click the link in the comments or description of this video to get started today and support the show and win some money on game day. Now, with Tyler Shough, I want to talk about the resiliency because that's something that I've always believed was a strength of his, and I think that that's something that you learn when you have the experiences that he does, and you can see that on full display here. He has that dog in him. He has the it factor. He has the X factor. He has what you want to see in a leader and in somebody that's a rookie and in somebody that's going to go out there and win games. And it's not just me saying that. You want to talk about some guys who know ball and some guys who are Saints legends and some guys who believe in Tyler Shough. Let's go to Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. Don't want to get ahead, but this guy can ball. Give him the keys and let him do his thing. Could not agree more. Let Tyler Shough do what he can. Give him the opportunity to succeed. Ask him which receivers he wants. Ask him which linemen he likes. Ask him which running backs he think will be the best fit with him. Use his input. Let him not run the show, but use his knowledge and his skill set to your advantage and build the team around him. And for what it's worth, Demario Davis even said it too. We got Saints legends pointing out left, right, up, down, and even in the middle. Tyler Shough has the it factor. And as pointed out here, when Demario Davis gives you that kind of endorsement, that's something that can't be ignored. And I truly do think with Tyler Shough, when you talk about the adversity he's faced, and when you talk about the things that were critiqued about him, the injury history, the age, he has never been that true massive leader in production or whatever. I get all of those things in the pre-draft process, in the scouting process. There was a lot of people who knocked a bunch of those things. But with Tyler Shough, I think all of those molded him into the player and the man he is. He is now about to be a father. He is a husband. He has reasons to go and fight and play every single Sunday. And it's not just to win football games for the city. It's personal for him now. And I think that those are really, really interesting qualities to have and external factors that can cause an internal improvement in a human being, especially as a man. And Tyler Shough, I think, has that fearless competitive mindset. I think he is a leader, and I think that he's just somebody that no matter what you talk about, you can't take away that he is somebody who has the intangibles to be a great leader and be a great quarterback. I think he throws a really catchable football. Look, that's an underrated part of this game. I think that's something that we saw a lot of issues with earlier in the season and even last year. Drops were happening left and right. And I think with Tyler Shough, he throws a much more catchable football. And this goes right back to the first point here. He elevates the roster. He gives his players a better chance to succeed. He gives the players the opportunity to make a play. And do they always make that play? No. But that's where you get a better roster. That's where you add the talent around him. See, this whole thing is cyclical. I think when it comes to Tyler Shough, he elevates the roster. He throws a catchable football. He is a leader. He has the mobility. You can't deny that his arm talent is there either. He has a really good deep ball. He has the 3-level accuracy. He has the ability to hit every blade of grass on the field. You cannot deny that he has a cannon of arm. You cannot deny the fact that he can throw the ball wherever he wants it. He has really, really nice accuracy as well. And to me, ever since he took over, it feels like this passing game is a little bit more reliable. And I feel like Chris Olave has been better. It's not been perfect, but it's been better. I feel like Juwan Johnson is playing at a really high level. You can see that there's clearly chemistry that goes back to their time at college. I think Devaughn Vele has really, really emerged in a massive way. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Tyler Shough and the quarterback situation and how the offense has evolved over the course of this season. It hasn't been beautiful. I want to make that abundantly clear. I understand that this may seem like we're trying to just pump smoke. But the reality is, it has been fine, and it has been better. And you should be excited about the future. Who gives a damn about not having the top 2 pick? That's embarrassing. I don't want to root for that. I want to root for wins. I want to root for optimism. I want to root for something that makes me excited for game days. And so I'm rooting for Tyler Shough. Can we get to 600 likes for Tyler Shough, by the way? And why 600? Because he wears number 6. So it's crazy to ask for 6 likes. I feel like that's just a little weird. So we're going to go 600. Can we get 600 likes on this video? If we can, Tyler Shough just told me in my headset that he was going to go throw for 600 yards against the Panthers. So that's pretty cool. Let's go see that happen. Anyway, last thing. I've said this point multiple times. I think he just has the intangibles. I think when it comes to Tyler Shough, he just has what it takes. And even dating back to Derek Carr, somebody who has been known for the intangibles and stuff, like, it just clearly wasn't a good fit. Like, this feels like a good fit. And, interesting stat, since Archie Manning was around in 1971, his rookie year, Tyler Shough is the first Saints rookie quarterback with multiple wins, which is crazy to say. And again, that's like a wild stat, and I'm not saying that's why you should believe in him because he has 2 wins as a rookie, but he has the intangibles. He's got the size. He's got the leadership. He's got the moxie. He's got the ability to win. He's proven that he can win. He's proven that he can go into a hostile environment. He's proven that he can win in scrappy games. He's proven that he can do the things you want him to do. I think that he's got the size. I think he's got the arm talent. I think he's got the mobility. I think he's got the experience, the leadership, the football IQ. Like, I think that he's somebody that you want to build your team around. He's somebody that is a good quarterback. And this is something that can become infectious across the entire roster. If you have your biggest leader showing off and displaying tough resiliency and the desire to succeed, that peels over into the entire roster. And I think that's a big thing that Kellen Moore really liked about Tyler Shough. And I understand that the Saints are a bad football team, but I think that they're a mentally tough football team. What is something that we've seen every single week? No matter what, win, lose, or draw, not a lot of wins, more loses, but either way, you're seeing them compete all 4 quarters. And it isn't pretty, but they're fighting until the bitter end. And that shows mental toughness. Nobody likes being 3-10. Nobody likes being a bad football team. But they're showing up, and they're having a good attitude. You see the practice videos. You see the pictures coming out. It's all smiles. Everyone's happy because they know they're building something for the future. That's a testament to Kellen Moore. And I think that Tyler Shough also displays that, and I think that it's really, really seeping over into the rest of the roster. Look, with Kellen Moore, I think the vision for this team is abundantly clear. You got to add guys who can battle through adversity. And with the New Orleans Saints, a lot of players and a lot of rookies and a lot of the guys around this organization since Kellen Moore's taken over have battled through adversity time and time and time again, and that's what's led them to be in the position they're at. And it's crazy. On Monday, talking to media, I literally had this thought poured out, and he then said this to media, and I thought it was just so interesting because it really hits this point at home. Resiliency is a part of the NFL. No team avoids it. You have to navigate it. Every team does week in and week out. I think it's an important aspect for our guys to be able to cope with it and navigate it individually and collectively as a group. When you get a bunch of like-minded guys that can battle it together, you give yourself a chance. That's what this season's about, giving yourself a chance, proving that you can give yourself a chance. You aren't able yet to swing up and take out the big dogs, but when it comes to playing a football game every single Sunday, you're giving yourself a chance. And right now, when you're in the first year of a rebuild, it's all you can ask for, and I think the Saints are doing that. And when it comes to Tyler Shough, I think this is why we should believe in him as the franchise quarterback. Now, hit me up on social media. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I want to continue the conversation. This is something I'm very passionate about. It's something I enjoy doing, is just having a conversation with other Saints fans. So hit me up on X, Instagram, or TikTok. I post every single day on all 3 platforms. And if you want to continue the conversation, shoot me a DM. I love chopping it up with the Who Dat Nation. But my name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. Appreciate you for tuning in, and y'all stay golden. CTM! Do you think a veteran quarterback presence is still needed, or do you think we're good for now? We're good.
We have a veteran quarterback. He's 26.
Yeah, we have Kellen. Got Kellen Moore and you got Doug Nussmeier, who are both quarterbacks. Haven't gotten I think that you don't necessarily need it. I'm going to continue to – my response to this will never change, actually, at this point. I think I'm just going to save myself. My response has been this ever since this conversation started. If they wanted a veteran quarterback, why wouldn't they have signed one but yet? Would they have not done that by now? I mean, we're into week 15.
Well, you know what they say about the NFL. The last 3 weeks of the season are the most important 3.
That's true.
So, if you're going to get a veteran, it makes sense.
Yeah. No, CTM, by no means am I trying to be disrespectful to the question. I just, I think that when it comes to veteran quarterback, why wouldn't they have signed one yet if they wanted one? I mean, they've had every opportunity every single day, every single week throughout this entire season to add veteran quarterbacks, and they haven't. And I'm not saying that they should, but, why would they? You know, maybe you do go get, a Jameis-type player where it's a good vibes guy, somebody who's won, somebody who succeeded, somebody who can hold the clipboard and kind of take a back seat just to have that insurance. But, I also think Spencer Rattler is a pretty good backup quarterback. I don't mind having him around. So, you know, I just think when it comes to the veteran quarterback situation, if they wanted to add to it, they would have done it by now. And to be totally honest, I don't think they should. Samuel, what's going on, brother? I like Rattler more, TBH.
You like losing?
Well, Samuel, that is A-okay. The last 6 quarters Spencer Rattler played, he had 6 turnovers. I think people keep forgetting that.
Everybody was saying, and I was going through the comments last week. Everybody's like, oh, Rattler's playing harder teams, and they both only have 1 win. Now Tyler Shuck is the winningest quarterback on the Saints roster. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say Spencer Rattler stinks, but, he had his opportunity. It didn't go well. It's Tyler Shuck time. If you don't like it, I like Rattler more. My response, get over it. He's not going to be a starter unless there's a major injury. He is, in my opinion, done enough to at least claim the starting role. They're going to have a QB battle this offseason. It's going to be Tyler Shough. We're actually going to talk about Spencer Rattler's future here later on. So, interesting.
But if you're all on, the...
Mike Nintendo Master said Rattler and Tyler are both bad, to be frank. Mike, I honestly don't think you've watched a snap of Saints football.
Who's Frank?
To be frank. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're trying to get a pun.
It was there.
Right over my head. B. Jamin says I don't like Rattler or Shuck, but I'd choose Shuck over Rattler. I think when it comes to Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck conversation, if you're picking one individual player over the team, I think that's weird. I am not a Shuck guy. I am not a Rattler guy. I've been accused of being like a fan of an individual player, but at the end of the day, like that's what I care about is the Saints. I really couldn't care less if it's Uncle Rico throwing the football. I just want to win games. I don't care who's throwing the ball. Spencer Rattler couldn't win enough games. Took too long to get one. Got every opportunity.
We don't care about who's throwing the ball. We care about who's catching it as well. We want Michael Thomas back.
Not talking Michael Thomas. Johnny M.
Damn it.
First of all, he's graduating,
Live
but
stream.
he's on his way home from class. Had to tune in. I love how Shuck is playing. Let's go. First of all, Johnny M., I hope you're doing well up in Fayetteville, Arkansas, the greatest city in the whole wide world, tied with New Orleans and Dallas. But, in case you guys didn't know, those are all three of my favorite cities, so there you go. I do appreciate you for tuning in, Johnny. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good time. I know you're graduating soon, so enjoy the last few months you have in college.
Go get a loco.
Fayetteville is the greatest place in the whole wide world. Hopefully you don't have too much left to do for the day. Hopefully you can just kind of kick back, hang out, play some video games, maybe drink a beer or two. Lopez said, why don't you just put down a loco?
Dude,
Johnny, you're in
beers.
college.
It's basically
Do what you want, man. Do what you want. If you're if you're not 21, don't drink. If you're not 21, don't drink. I am not condoning underage drinking, but you know, if you're 21, enjoy a beverage.
The Four Loko does have a little printed on the can that says "We ID," so better be safe. If you're gonna do it, you better have a real ID, or they will put you in loco jail.
If you need a good liquor store, go to A1 Liquor. Tell them I sent you.
They're familiar with
I took care of them back in the day.
Ooh.
We when I was in college, I ran the Old Row Arkansas account, and I gave them they would give me a bunch of booze and stuff and give me discounts because I would post about them.
And this was when you were well above 21.
Yeah, no, it was my senior year of college. It was actually my senior year. It was my senior year because I started the Old Row thing like right at the beginning of senior year, I want to say. So, yeah. Anyway.
Dude, J-Mo was kind of fancy. He said, appreciate y'all. I'm about to get on Madden and sip on some whiskey.
Dude,
You fancy
I can't. Honest to God, that sounds exactly like what we used to do. We lived over off Peachtree Drive. Definitely would not go live there again. But hey, when you're in college, pre-COVID, you're just trying to rough it, have a good time, bust down the house. That was the place. We had a little shitter. It was awesome, man. How are you doing, Braden? I'm doing well. Queen Courtney, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you guys for supporting the show and sending in some donations today on Monday. We still got 2 more segments to get into, but we're going to have a fun time hanging out with you guys. Blue Jay says, Trizzy, I posted a video on my channel of you shouting out my name. Thanks for the love. Hey, anytime, Blue Jay. I appreciate you for tuning in and being a part of the show and being a real one. You're a legend, man. Your participation is definitely noticed. And, hey, man, anytime you're here, you know you got love coming from me. We're going to be giving you shout-outs anytime you tune in, brother. All hail the queen, says Joe. All hail Queen Courtney. All hail Queen Courtney. All hail Queen Courtney.
It's loading. In a second.
We're getting it on there.
Yeah, we're going to pop it up.
Cairo, good to see you, brother.
There we go.
Hope you're doing well, friends. Hot take, Tulane beating Ole Miss, and Saints are going to win more than 4 games? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I don't know
like it.
Tulane beats Ole Miss. I think they cover, though. 17 and a half is a lot.
17 and a half is a lot.
I know they beat them like 60 to 12 earlier or some shit like that, but that's without Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
He was the heart and soul of that team.
Did Ole Miss have any opt-outs?
Nothing I know of.
So I didn't think
They usually don't opt out for the playoffs, though.
No, I know, but I was like, I wonder if anybody was like, I'm transferring with Lane. Well, I guess they can't technically do that because they're still in the season.
I'm about to say, I understand why Lane wouldn't be in the playoff, but if I'm going to transfer, I'm still at least going to play out my playoff game. Maybe I can get a win, maybe get a ride to the championship. I doubt it, but, you know, anything's possible. And then I transfer and be like, see ya.
True. Anytime, Cairo. B. Jammins says some of these players are dirty with these hits. It's football, man. It's a sport. People are going to take cheap shots sometimes. It's football. Like, Saints aren't the only team that does it. Every team does it, man. Go watch any other football game, any level. Quinn Courtney, Ole Miss lost all their coaches. Jaden, good to see you, brother. Joe Payne, miss living in Louisiana, heading back at the speed of light as soon as I can retire. Yeah, shout out your city. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We're going to get into the second segment here, why there's reasons for optimism. We talked about Tyler Shough specifically, but next we're going to talk about the whole team because I think the whole team has reasons for optimism.
We got another super chat. Shout out Taxmaster DFW.
Taxmaster, what's your prediction for the remaining games? Ooh, good question, Taxmaster. Look, they have a really, I'm not going to say easy schedule, but really easy schedule up ahead.
It's a cupcake.
So you have the Panthers at home, who you've already beaten. You have the Jets at home, and then you have on the road at Tennessee and on the road at Atlanta. I think your hardest game remaining is on the road at Atlanta. I could also see the Panthers being kind of a tougher one. But my point being, I don't think 4-0 for the last stretch of the games is out of the question, which would mean they finish the season 7-10. Holy shit, they could finish 7-10. That's actually like a respectable record. I'm not saying
like,
it's a good record.
We had the don't want to tank, but that would probably put us near the bottom of the top 10, maybe out of the top 10.
Which means Jeremiah Love. Or Carnell Tate. I'm just saying. We were going to trade out anyway. I'm not saying the Saints will go 4-0, but I think my prediction, I'll say 3-1. They're going to lose one of the Carolina or Atlanta game. I don't know which one it'll be, but they'll lose one of those. You know, honestly, they'll probably lose to the Panthers. And then they'll win the last three, which would mean they were 6-11, which I feel still like is top 10.
That's one win better than last year. That's called improvement.
It is one win better than last year. If you can get to 5, I think you should try to get to 5 wins. Try to get to 5 wins so you can tie what you did last year. Because I think if you tie in the first year of a rebuild, it's good. It's a good side, at least in my opinion. CTM says you were number 1 on my YouTube recap. Oh, dude, that's sick. That's sick. I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome, CTM.
Do we get the stats on that? Can we see who
Dude,
was,
yeah, I need to see if we can get the stats on that. That'd be sick. Hey, I mean, we're getting some super chats flowing. I'll tell you what, we get a $20 super chat, I'll shotgun a brewski, and and then we can keep talking ball. $20 super chat, we'll shotgun a beer. What do we get in free agency in the offseason? William Harvey, great question. I think one of the positions you got to hit heavy. I got to say the guard, offensive guard. Very, very much so need to pay attention there. Honestly, I would rather invest in the position through free agency, not through the draft. I also think that you could potentially add some DB depth. Wouldn't be opposed to spending some money on a receiver, but I do want to draft very early a receiver. But that shouldn't stop you from going and signing like a veteran to have around. I think that would be a good idea. So like honestly, like it's kind of the cop out, but the only positions I really wouldn't spend money on in free agency, I'd say tackle. I mean, maybe for depth guys, but like starter-wise, I wouldn't go spend at linebacker, wouldn't go spend at corner, wouldn't go spend at quarterback, wouldn't go spend at tackle. I already said that. I don't want to spend top dollar on a running back. Breece Hall would be fun, but like I would just prefer to draft somebody. But if we get Breece Hall, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Breece Hall's going to cost.
He's just going to cost. Yeah, he's going to cost a lot of money, and I'd rather use that money elsewhere, if you will. So. Like, if it's Breece Hall or somehow managed to trade for Justin Jefferson, I'm taking Justin Jefferson.
Oh, no fucking way.
Just kidding.
Mitch just slacked. Said he's stuck in the elevator.
No.
That is one of my biggest fears.
That's hilarious. Have you ever been stuck in an elevator? I have.
Oh, wait, there's a video, too.
Have y'all ever been stuck on an elevator before? Where do donations go to? That's a great question, Blue Jay. They do not just.
This is fun.
This is funny. Sorry. Our office Slack is really funny right now. One of the guys is stuck in the elevator. It's hilarious. That really derailed the situation here. Donations do not go to our pockets. Believe it or not, we do not take the money and go buy dinner after the watch parties. It goes right back into the studio. Over the last couple of years, we've really seen a lot of success here on the channel. And if you guys don't remember, 2 seasons ago, we were not doing watch parties every game. We were only doing the primetime games, which was only a couple of them. And then last year, we started doing more watch parties, but I was solo every single time. I had to self-produce it. Got some help here and there, but it was just kind of me running the show and trying to do the best I can. This year, we now have Lopez, who gets to work with us full-time, and he's been an awesome addition, and he's been so helpful with growing the channel and growing the content and how much we're able to do. So it really does go straight back into the company. We've added a lot of people to the Chat Sports office. We're at almost, I think, over 40 employees now. We're still hiring guys every single week. We're hiring people every single week. And we're trying to take over the YouTube empire. And so it doesn't just sit in our pockets and we just go and spend money. It really goes back into giving y'all more content. We put it right back into the company and right back into the studio. We have this beautiful studio. I used to not even have a studio. I have my own studio. Got my own TV. It's mounted on the wall. I got my own shelf. I got my own stuff. It's awesome. Lopez has his own little corner.
I have so much room for activity.
He used to have a shelf back there, but somebody stole it. But he still has the corner, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I should do something with this.
That's a win. It's a big win.
Yeah. So I go live from the corner every so often.
Blue Jay, go back to the mock draft video I did. I want you to redo the first round. I didn't pick. I didn't like it. Which one? You didn't like Arvell Reese? I like Arvell Reese. Slim South says we're going to sweep the Panthers. Mike, how's your wife? Well, my girlfriend's great, but my wife doesn't know about my girlfriend, so.
So she's also doing pretty good.
She's doing great. I don't have a wife. I'm not married. Maddie and I are dating. There will be an engagement in the future. I can't say too much here because she watches all of these. So
$50 super chat, and it might happen tonight. Next 24 hours.
No, Daniel Lee sent $1,000 Venmo, and we knew what happened after that. So
Daniel Lee is the best man.
He might be getting invited, dude. He's getting close to getting an invite, whether Maddie likes it or not. No, I did not get married recently. I've been to a bunch of weddings. I've been in weddings. I went to a bachelor party for one of my friends, but it wasn't mine. I'm not married, but I ain't single, so don't even think about it, ladies. Nah, you're good, Mike. Don't worry about it, brother. I thought Lopez would be the best man. Lopez is the best man, for sure. He's also the best producer. He's also the best Loco Lopez I've ever met.
Ooh, how many do you know?
You're the best and the worst.
Damn.
No, dude, Mike, you're all good, brother. You're all good. You're all Gucci. What y'all think? Draft skill position, bring in free agent? I love it, Joe. It's a good idea. Braden says, I love watching Trizzy and Lopez because you bring excitement to the Saints games. Whenever I watch his shorts and when your big Billy happens, I see you get all excited. Lopez, he's chill. He's a homie, dude.
That's really all I bring to the office. I'm the CVO, Chief Vibes Officer here.
Yeah, he's a Chief Vibes Officer.
And DEI.
For sure.
That's a different conversation.
That too. All righty, let's get into segment 2. Let's get into it. Next, 3-10. It's bad, but there's reasons for optimism. We're going to talk about it here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. We've been live for about 46 minutes, and we still have 2 segments to go. All right, let's kick this thing into high gear. Let's talk some football, and let's get our Monday wrapped up so we can go enjoy some Monday Night Football. Fun matchup tonight. All right. Oh, by the way, one more thing I'm going to do to procrastinate. We're talking about Chiefs-Texans. Who here is excited that the Chiefs dynasty seems to be over? Because that rocks.
When one dynasty starts, a new dynasty begins.
The Tyler Shough dynasty is here.
A new dynasty starts.
Really good timing for the Tyler Shough dynasty start. Also, really disappointing because last night was the first time I've ever actually rooted for the NFL to show Taylor Swift on TV. Really hoping they would, but they didn't because they were losing, and it would have been hilarious.
Does she still go to the games?
I don't know, but it would have been funny. I'm sorry, I don't keep up with Taylor Swift and what she does every single time. No, I don't.
I think she has a documentary coming out. I keep seeing commercials for it.
It's news to me.
I'm just saying.
It's news to me.
Follows her Eras tour.
I did not. I did not. Maddie couldn't drag me to save my life. I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, pull the plug.
So if I asked you what era are you in right now, you in?
JMO says Sabrina Carpenter's. Okay, dude, what do we? Okay,
Sabrina
hold on.
Carpenter's
Talk.
so good.
We gotta talk football. We
Sabrina
gotta talk.
Carpenter's so good.
This is not. This is
She's
not
also
celebrity
hot as fuck.
singer. This is not sad girl singer music hour. This is Saints
No,
Now.
Sabrina Carpenter's not sad. It's more horn dog.
That's true. That's true. We're not doing that. We're talking football.
I love Sabrina.
Back on topic, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Sabrina, if you're listening.
B. Jammin says she was there, so for what it's worth, to land the plane, yeah, I wish they would have shown her on TV more. All right, let's get this thing going. Saints are 3-10, but there's reasons to believe in this football team moving forward. The New Orleans Saints are 3-10. That stinks. It's not fun. But there's reasons for optimism. And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to explain my case here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video, no matter where you are or how you're watching. We appreciate the Who Dat Nation for making us a part of their day. And I think Demario Davis said something that was really, really interesting about the future of this team. And when you talk about this football, hold on, timeout. I messed that up. Where that wasn't, he's not talking about Tyler Shough here, I think. Whatever. I think, because, like, I took this on, I saw this on social media. He was just talking. Or you can just take out the on. You just do Demario Davis. Just leave it. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right, we're seeing how the sausage is made. Sometimes a mistake happens, but we correct it, and that's what we're doing here. And that's my mistake, because I have it wrong in the script. My bad, guys. Alrighty, let's party. Lopez, are you ready? Because I'm ready. Alrighty. The New Orleans Saints are 3-10, and quite frankly, it's not awesome, but there are reasons for optimism. And I'm going to explain why here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. No matter where you are or where you're tuned in or how you're watching, we appreciate you for making us a part of your day. I think Demario Davis sums it up perfectly when he said this to media recently after the win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nobody wants to be 3-10, but not all 3-10s look the same. What I mean by that is nobody wants to be in adversity. Nobody wants to be in a storm. Nobody wants to be in situations where things aren't going the way you want them. But you can either lay down in those times or you can show up. And I think that that's what the New Orleans Saints are doing at this point in their rebuild. They're not laying down. They're not giving up. They're showing up. They're making a fight. And they're at least giving you a reason for optimism. And I think that the future is very bright in New Orleans. And I think when you take a look at the entire roster and where they are in their rebuild and what they could potentially do this season and the future and in the offseason, I think that there's a lot of reasons for us Saints fans to be really, really excited. I want to tell you why here. 5 reasons in just 1 second. 4 reasons, actually. 4 reasons here in just 1 second. But first things first, reminder to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Good, bad, or ugly, we got you covered no matter what. Here on the channel, live shows, watch parties, daily content by Saints fans, for Saints fans, 100% free. So subscribe today. Now, here's reason number 1. The future is bright in New Orleans. I believe they may have found their quarterback. They might have their answer. The question that has been asked since Drew Brees retired: who is the guy? We might have our answer. Nobody's building Tyler Shough a statue. Nobody's saying that he is the next great MVP. He's not going to win a ton of Super Bowls, blah, blah, blah. But they might have found their guy, at least for the foreseeable future. And I think that Tyler Shough is proving that he can win in the National Football League. I think he's proving that he's somebody worth building around. I think that he's proving he's the guy who should lead this offense over the next handful of seasons at the bare minimum through his rookie contract, in my opinion. It's very clear that Tyler Shough should be the quarterback moving forward. And for that reason, I think that you can see that Tyler Shough at least might be the guy. You get to focus on building around him this offseason, which is way more fun than building and trying to find the quarterback. The Saints can focus on adding the positions that can maximize Tyler Shough: receivers, tight ends, guards, build on the defense, bring in more weapons, add another running back. I think that's huge for a rebuild. I think that's paramount to the success of a franchise, is finding the answer at the quarterback question. It's the most important position of football. In my opinion, one of the most important positions in all of sports. And so with Tyler Shough, they can focus on building around him. He's proved enough to at least be able to do that far moving forward. So now you can put the pieces in place to allow Tyler Shough to succeed. And if he doesn't, then you just go grab another quarterback in a couple of years. Now, I did just break down why Tyler Shough can be a franchise quarterback on our Monday live show. We go live every single Monday after Sunday game day. So make sure you tune in, subscribe, turn on your notifications. If you want to see it live, you tune in on Mondays. But I talked about why Tyler Shough can be the franchise quarterback, and I put out the video recently, so I highly encourage you to check that one out if you need to get some more reasons and optimism around Tyler Shough and why he can be the guy moving forward. Now, I think that another reason for optimism and why the future is bright in New Orleans, the young players are developing really well. Like, they look good. And I'm going to get further into this point in a moment. We're going to give a shout-out to today's presenting sponsor. That's Bub Naturals. Bub Means is on my mind because we're going to talk about Bub Means in a second. But with Bubs Naturals, we're going to tell you about this product in a second. But the rookies are showing promise. I think that there's a lot of guys that you can see are developing well. I'm going to prove my point here in just 1 second. But today's show not sponsored by Bub Means, but by Bubs Naturals. Collagen peptides. Guys, this is the best product. If you're feeling a little bit older, you got to feel younger. You'll feel better, and you'll be living a healthier lifestyle if you get on the Bubs Naturals collagen peptides. Getting older hits harder than you expect, right? One day you wake up with stiff joints. Recovery from the gym, it takes longer. Your hair is thinning, your nails are breaking, and your skin just doesn't have that same smooth glow anymore. These things happen because you're starting in your mid-20s. Your body naturally produces less collagen every single year. That's where Bubs Naturals collagen peptides come in. And it's super easy to use. Just mix Bubs into your coffee, smoothie, or juice each morning. And it's tasteless, it's odorless, and it dissolves instantly, so no clumps and no weird aftertaste. And what makes Bubs truly different, this brand is a tribute to former Navy SEAL Glenn "Bub" Doherty, a national hero who gave his life saving Americans in Benghazi. Glenn's call sign was Bub, and he was the kind of guy who always pushed for self-improvement and helped everyone around him. That DNA is woven into the Bubs brand, and to honor him, Bubs donates 10% of all profits to charity, starting with the Glenn Doherty Memorial Foundation. Live better longer. For a limited time, our listeners are getting 20% off at Bubs Naturals by using code CHAT at checkout. I personally love the product. I've been using it, been trying to get to the gym a little bit more, getting a little bit svelte, but the recovery, it's just not been the same. It's been taking a little bit longer, but like we told you a little bit ago, that's where Bubs Naturals collagen peptides came in. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling healthier. And Maddie and I both noticed a massive difference in our lifestyles and our health, and it's all thanks to these guys right here. So go support your health, go support the show, and go take care of yourself with Bubs Naturals. Live better longer for a limited time. Our listeners are getting 20% off at Bubs Naturals by using code CHAT at checkout. Just head to bubsnaturals.com and use code CHAT. That's code CHAT, and you're all set. After you make your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support Saints Now and tell them that we sent you. Click the link in the comments or description of this video to get started today. Now, with the rookies in New Orleans, I think that they're showing a lot of promise. I think that you can look at a lot of the young players, especially the guys who aren't rookies, and you can look around the roster and see that the young guys who are on rookie contracts or on the first year of their second contract are starting to really show some sparks. They're starting to take over. They're starting to develop and become really good football players. The youth takeover, in my opinion, is in full effect. I think with the players that are currently on the roster, there are a lot of guys that needed to have really important years as rookies. I think there's also a lot of guys who were thrown into the fire due to injuries or due to whatever the need was for the team. I think there's also a lot of guys who needed to have good years to show that they are players worth paying big money or bringing back to New Orleans. And there's been a lot of guys who have been impressively developing, in my opinion. I think rookie left tackle Kelvin Banks has been awesome. I think Talise Fuaga has been good. I would like to see a little bit better production from him on the right tackle position, but I'm not going to slide him. We just didn't have enough space for the graphic. Juwan Johnson, in my opinion, has been really impressive in terms of his development. We all expected him to take a big leap. It started slow, but boy, is he really starting to turn our thing corner. He is really, really consistent. He's top 5 as a tight end in receiving production. Devin Neal has started to take over thanks to Kendre Miller and Alvin Kamara dealing with injuries. That stinks, but Devin Neal has been a bright spot. Devaughn Vele showing up in a big way. Chris Olave starting to put things together, and he is working on an extension with the Saints. And on the defensive side of the football, you see Kool-Aid McKinstry, Quincy Riley, Alontae Taylor. I think all 3 of those players are doing a really fine job. Alontae Taylor specifically starting to prove to the New Orleans Saints that he's worth investing. He's making plays when somebody needs to, and I know that it's not always consistent, but he has been fairly good in my opinion. Jonas Sanker thrown to the fire after Julian Blackmon suffered a season-long injury. He has been really, really fun to watch as a rookie. And Chase Young, ever since he returned from this team, from the calf injury, the defense has been red hot, and he has been an excellent player. And he is somebody who needed to be, considering the contract. And I got to say, it's been nice to have him on the field. And the Saints, in my opinion, they should invest in their young talent. I don't think there's anything wrong with paying young players who are productive and are contributors and have been known to help this team. I don't think there's anything wrong with developing and paying those guys. You've already put in the work. You've already put in the mileage. You already put in the time with them. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, you know what, we are impressed with what you're doing. Here's a contract. I'm not saying overpay. I'm not saying spend the money like crazy, but I think that it is totally okay to invest in the players that you currently have. And that is okay to get rid of some of the guys that have been on the roster for some time. I think this is all about the future, not about the right now. Another thing, the future is bright. The defense, boy, they've been hot recently. They have been heating up. And I want to show a point that Ross Jackson pointed out. Thought this was really, really, really interesting. I've been even sitting here talking to Lopez on the watch parties. I'm like, man, like, not like they're perfect, but dude, the defense is starting to like really be impressive. Feels like they're stacking a couple of good weeks, and you know, I might actually be onto something. Ross Jackson pointed it out. Since Chase Young was back in Week 6, Brandon Staley's defense. This was yesterday after the Sunday night or before the Sunday night game. Obviously, Monday Night Football has not been played at the time of filming this on Monday, 4 p.m. Central Time. Ross Jackson says the Saints defense since Chase Young has returned, 10th in total defense, 6th in passing defense. We're going to skip the run defense one. 9th in yards per rush attempt, 9th in sacks per dropback, 8th in third down conversion, and 4th in red zone touchdowns allowed. Staley starting to really cook. Again, I've made this point so many times. We got to get out with the old and in with the new. We have a lot of guys that were still Dennis Allen and Sean Payton's guys. We got to get those guys out of here. We got to get Staley and Kellen Moore's guys in, because I think that the vision for this defense and I think the vision for this offense and the roster as a whole, it's really starting to come together. But specifically for the defense, you can really start to see why some of these rookies were taken. I wish Vernon Broughton was healthy this year, because I feel like there's a lot of questions around him, and I really wanted to see why the Saints invested so highly in him. And I think that he was impressive in the preseason. But you can see the vision coming together. You can see the why behind some of these draft picks or these signings. It's starting to all make sense. The puzzle pieces are starting to kind of align. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's starting to get there. And with Brandon Staley, I think it's great news, because it's not like he's going to be getting head coaching buzz anytime soon. Like, I don't think any teams are going to be foaming at the mouth to go and hire him as a head coach. For what it's worth, I know he has experience, but it's not like the Saints defense has been insanely amazing. Like, they've been fine, and we've seen since Chase Young returned, they've been top 10 in a lot of categories. But, like, I don't think that there's any team that's out there desperate to hire Brandon Staley. Thus, they are not going to overly compensate and overly pursue Brandon Staley. So I think with the defense, they can continue to grow. They continue to take shape. They can continue to mold under Brandon Staley's vision and Kellen Moore's team. Like, I really think the future is bright because it feels like the core of your coaching staff is really, really strong, and it doesn't seem like that's an area that's going to change anytime soon. Barring any drastic things happening, I don't see a world where Brandon Staley and Doug Nussmeier, they're getting sprinted to get hired. I just don't see it. Now, how would you rate the Saints defense? Madden style, 1 to 99. I would actually put it like an 80, 82, 83. Like, I'm not going to say they're amazing, but I'd say they're in the 80s. Maybe I'm wrong. What do y'all think? Sound off. All right, let's talk about why the future is bright. My final point, fourth and final point. This is a competitive and a resilient team. And I think that it's really interesting to look at what this roster has done since Kellen Moore has taken over. I think it's really interesting to look at what the team has done since Kellen Moore took over. And when you consider what the team does week in and week out compared to what they used to do, what used to happen? They used to get down, they would give up, and the game would be over. Once they got hit in the mouth, there wasn't a lot of punch back. They weren't swinging hard back at all. Maybe a few times here and there they'd make a play, but there wasn't a lot of comeback wins since Drew Brees is retired. Been a few, not a lot. But this team is competitive. They're resilient. They're tough. And until the bitter end, they are competing every single week. And I think that that's a testament to Kellen Moore's roster. I think it's a testament to his vision and to the why behind the construction of this team. I think it displays mental toughness. I think mental toughness is key to success, number one, to be honest. When it comes to being a good football team, you got to be mentally tough. You're going to face adversity. You're going to get hit in the mouth. You're going to lose. You're going to be behind in a game late. You got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to make it happen. And the Saints are starting to do that. And this is why I believe in Kellen Moore. Because it's him who is doing that. Kellen Moore changed this culture. Kellen Moore has veterans who could have easily requested a trade, easily requested to be released. There's plenty of guys on this roster that Kellen Moore did not have to keep around and did not have to stay around. And quite frankly, I don't know why they did. But they didn't care about wins and losses. They didn't care about winning a Super Bowl. They care more about building this thing back up and turning it into another great franchise. I believe in Kellen Moore for a lot of reasons. The biggest one is because of the culture he's building with this team. And I think it's really disappointing to see a lot of Saints fans get really frustrated with Kellen Moore and call for his job, say he needs to get fired, he needs to lose play calling duties. We live in a microwave society. What do I mean by that? We live in a world where people demand immediate results. I saw it one time happen, so I every single time it has to be like this, otherwise it sucks. I saw the Commanders turn it around in one season. They won like so many games. They made the playoffs, and they did all this great stuff. And look at them now. Year two, it's not that great. I know they have things that they're dealing with, but, like, come on. Like, we live in a world where everyone is so demanding on the right now results that we're impatient to wait and see something truly great develop. And in my opinion, for those of y'all who like to smoke meats out there, for my fellow grill masters and my smoke masters, or my pit masters, if you will, the Saints are like a brisket. You got to cook them low and slow. You don't want to rush it. You don't need to sprint it. Let them marinate. Let them figure it out. Give them a year. And for what it's worth, the Saints have 4 pretty easy games remaining. Carolina at home. You already beat them. Jets at home. Titans on the road. Falcons on the road. You could see this team end up with 7 wins, which is crazy to say, but you could. And if that's the situation we live in, let the brisket cook low and slow, baby. Get the good char. Get that good bark on there. Let that flavor really seep in, because the New Orleans Saints are not going to turn around in 1 week. They were never going to turn around one season. Let Kellen Moore build this thing. Give it some time. Have a little bit of patience. I think year 2 is going to be really exciting. Year 3, we're going to be talking very, very highly about this football team. Now, when do you think will the Saints make the playoffs? Next year? They can't make it this year, obviously. They've already been eliminated. But do you think they can make it next year? Like, who's to say they can't win the division next year? We don't know what's going to happen yet in the offseason, but like I think that next year they could win the playoff or win the division. I think in 2 years from now, it's certainly a conversation. What about you? When do you think these Saints will be a playoff team once again? Now, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. I think that there's a lot of reasons for optimism and why Saints fans should be getting excited about the future of this team, and I just explained why. So if you agree with me, let me know in the comment section. If you disagree with me, tell me why. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up icon, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. All right. Mailbag time coming up. One of my favorite parts of the show.
I will say, we got a couple of super chats from earlier in the show that I imagine will be in this mailbag. So
For sure.
If you want to guarantee that your question is in, I would send in the super chat.
Yes.
If not, make it a good question using hashtag Saints. If it's a good question, odds are high that it would get up there. Odds are good. I don't want to guarantee.
I am really excited for this mailbag. I feel like there's going to be some good questions in here. How many questions do we need? Or how many do we need more?
Do you want to hit this in mailbag?
Nah.
3. We got 4 supers that are going to be.
Okay. We got a few. All right. If you guys have any questions, hot takes, if you want to get on the show, use hashtag Saints or send in a super chat to skip the line. I'm going to get into the mailbag portion of the show here in just a minute. I'm going to start off with what to do with Spencer Rattler. Future for him, question marks around it. We're going to talk about what the Saints could do with him. And then we're going to get into the Golden Gang mailbag. If you have a question or hot take, use hashtag Saints. And we have been getting some good support here on this Monday. So if you guys want to have a little bit of fun, do a little beer bong, we could do that. Would you mind just putting a little bit of filling with some water? I'm like dying over here. I can't speak. I feel like an idiot.
Sponsored by Bubs Naturals.
Yeah, what the?
I'm surprised that's never happened.
I know, honestly. It's actually, I was thinking that in the middle. I was like, have I done that? I don't think I have. It would be fun to do a Bubs Natural video on when we're talking about Bub Means one time.
Maybe if he doesn't get hurt as often.
Yeah, no kidding.
We could.
No kidding. Thank you, Durham. I appreciate you, buddy. I really appreciate it. All right, now that I am not going to die of thirst, I didn't refill my water bottle, so this is on me. Everyone's hyped. Thanks, Durham, because he's the GOAT. That's some high-quality H2O. Ooh, Joe Payne, good question. Justin Rimkus. We're going to talk about that. Don, hey, see my previous message. Just send it again. We need a backup center, most important one. McCoy went out, it was over. Don, we cannot pull that question on the show unless you put hashtag Saints in it. For what it's worth, I'll explain it. If you want to get on the show, use hashtag Saints somewhere in the message, but include what you want to say. Don't send a message with your question and then do hashtag Saints. That's not how that works.
I'm putting one in the chat for you to see what it would look like.
Are we good on questions? I feel like we might be good. Yeah. I think we're fine.
question, make it look like that. Like this. That would be one that would probably get answered.
Jesus Christ. We're not answering anything on Sabrina Carpenter.
I'll be live later,
Sydney
guys.
Sweeney, though.
I'll be live later, guys.
Just kidding. Anyway.
All I'm saying, Sabrina has the album Man's Best Friend. I wanted to be Loco's best friend.
That's funny. Cairo thought that was good. Yeah, I can't believe that Tyler Shuck had 2 rushing touchdowns, too. That was crazy. All right, let's get into the last segment, and let's get this party off. What are my Super Bowl predictions? Oh, dude, I don't know. Patriots and... Actually, I don't know about I kind of like the Texans, man. They're nice. They're hot, too. I think they're really hot. All right, let's get into it. Last segment of the day, of the show, of the watch party. And we're going to then sign off here. I Love Football says Patriots versus Packers. That's a good take there. All righty.
Does Toyotathon carry over into February? Do we know?
Let me Google. When does Toyotathon end? Wow, that's actually a very good question. January 5th or 6th, 2026.
Oh, Jordan Love's screwed. Packers ain't making it, fellas. Sorry.
Nope, sorry. Alrighty, let's party. Yes. Yep, you're good. Don Hay wants to trade down. Don't disagree. Yes. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. In today's video, we're going to answer the question, what should the Saints do with Spencer Rattler? It seems like Tyler Shuck is the guy at the quarterback position, at least for the immediate future. So what do you do with Spencer Rattler? We're going to find out. And then we're going to get into our weekly Q&A. We do a live show every single Monday afternoon with the Golden Gang. Who's the Golden Gang? Our group of subscribers. So if you want to be a part of it in the future, hit the sub button, turn on your notifications, and tune into the live content. So it's very obvious, it's very apparent, based off of what has happened this season, this is Tyler Shuck's offense. This is not a hit piece on Spencer Rattler. I honestly don't want to focus too much on Tyler Shuck in this video whatsoever, but we need to address the facts. The Spencer Rattler as a starter, time has wrapped up in New Orleans. I don't think his future as a starter is over. He could go be a starter elsewhere. He could take over for New Orleans if something happens to Tyler Shuck. But I think with him, this is Tyler Shuck's offense. And with the Saints offense, that is the guy Kellen Moore handpicked with a 40th overall selection. So that's why we're having this conversation. And for what it's worth, the same conversation applies to Jake Haener. This isn't just about Spencer Rattler. This isn't just about one guy. This is about the Saints quarterback future. Spencer Rattler, obviously the more notable of the two. But again, I think we all know who the starting quarterback will be next year, week 1. So what should we do? Well, what can the Saints do? 3 things. First one, Saints just keep Spencer Rattler. And I actually don't hate this idea. I think it's something the Saints should do. And for what it's worth, I think keeping Spencer Rattler would make some sense for New Orleans. And I think for Spencer Rattler, again, this isn't a knock on him, but I think he can be a very, very high-level backup. And I think that he's somebody who does have a good football mind, and he does have some nice traits and some nice qualities. And in a pinch, he can go out there and play serviceable football. We've seen that. We've seen that it can be good enough. Can it be great on a consistent basis? I think the answer to that is no. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that Spencer Rattler can be a very, very high-level backup, and I think that that's something that is very, very valuable. There's real value in being a quality QB2, in my opinion. And if you are a quality QB2, you can still make a lot of money. You can still see the field here and there. You can still see some success. God, if we see this team go and compete for a Super Bowl, I'm sure Spencer Rattler is not going to be itching to get out of here. It's pretty fun to win a Super Bowl ring. And sure, you want to get out there and play and you want to be on the field. I understand that. But I think when it comes to Spencer Rattler and the conversation around him, I think it's fair to be realistic and say, at best, he can be a low-level QB1, but I think more realistically, he's a high-level QB2. And that's okay. I think that there is real value in being a good QB2 because good football teams that go down the stretch and go far in the playoffs and have consistent success, they always have an answer at the quarterback position because you never know what's going to happen. And I think Spencer Rattler could be a fine answer at the quarterback position in a pinch. Now, the other option, pretty obvious. You could trade Spencer Rattler. Can't do it right now. It's obviously trade deadline's passed. But this offseason, maybe you say, hey, who's interested in getting a quarterback? There's always teams looking for help. And whether it's guys looking for starters, whether it's teams looking for backups because they have their starters, because they have their established veteran, or they have their high-level QB1 that they drafted highly, whatever. Teams are always looking for quarterback help. They're always looking to add to the quarterback room and looking to improve that area. It's the most important position in football. It's, in my opinion, the most important position in sports. So some teams that come to mind, honestly, any team with an established starter should be in this conversation because a lot of teams out there need a QB2. But specifically Cincinnati behind Joe Burrow, that might make some sense. Arizona, they're looking for a quarterback answer. And maybe he can go back to Arizona and they're clearly moving off of Kyler Murray. He can go and start, try to prove himself, see what happens. And maybe there's something there. Maybe the Rams. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe the Browns. I don't know. Like, they need backups. They need starters. Like, there's a lot of teams out there that need quarterback answers. Browns, I don't think necessarily need one. But, like, I mean, hell, the Colts, Daniel Jones, he tore his Achilles out for the season. They need a high-level backup. I'm sure that they wish that they had a high-level backup because Riley Leonard was the situation. He's dealing with the knee injury. Like, they, you know, it's just a conversation. There's a lot of teams out there who need quarterbacks. Maybe a team is willing to spend on one for Spencer Rattler. He is not going to get a lot in return. I want to make that very clear. You're not going to get anything higher than a fifth-round pick. You're not going to get anything higher than what you drafted him for. I think at best, if you want like a fifth-round pick or something, it's probably because there's a pick swap in there on the back end. Like, maybe get one of those sixth-round picks back or something, or I don't know. I don't think you're getting a lot in return for Spencer Rattler. Again, no disrespect to him, but, like, I don't think he's going to get you anything more than what he was drafted at, which was round 5, 150 overall. Last thing Saints could do with Spencer Rattler, they could just cut him. And obviously, I don't think that is a path that would make a lot of sense, but obviously it's something that could happen. I think when it comes to Spencer Rattler, cutting him would be a bad idea because if you're going to move off of him, you might as well try to get something in return. And to be totally honest, I think cutting him actually kind of complicates things, and moving off of him actually kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. Bear in mind, you do have Jake Haener and Hunter Deckers on the roster as well. Maybe you sign a veteran this offseason to be kind of a vibes guy, clipboard guy, whatever. But I personally would prefer to keep Spencer Rattler in New Orleans because I think that he's somebody who's young and who can be around for a while. The fans obviously like him, and he's somebody that has won a lot of respect and love from the New Orleans community. I also don't think making quarterback a need makes any sense. If you don't have to, why would we do it? There's no point in doing that. So if you don't need to address quarterback, if you don't need a QB2, if you don't need a backup, why make that a need? You don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback late. You don't have to worry about doing something like signing a quarterback if you don't want to. Like, you can make that decision later on, but I just don't think it makes sense to just cut Spencer Rattler or trade him. To be totally honest, I'd rather keep him. Now, what would you do with Spencer Rattler? Obviously, you have 3 options. Keep him, cut him, trade him. What do you think the New Orleans Saints should do this offseason? We're going to get into the mailbag portion of today's video. I see a lot of awesome questions in our live chat. We go live every single Monday around 4 p.m. Central Time. So subscribe, turn on your notifications, and without further ado, I want to thank today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. This episode of Saints Now is brought to you by PrizePicks. The holiday season is here, and it's the best time for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are making decisions every single day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, and which games to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right, and that's PrizePicks. My favorite thing about PrizePicks is picking multiple sports in the same lineup. And with basketball back, I can now put Derek Queen and Tyler Shuck, 2 rookies who are taking over the New Orleans sports scene, and I can put them in the same lineup and root for them both to pop up. And if you guys want a pretty sweet deal, we got one for you. If you use code CLNS, you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And if you need an example of how PrizePicks works, I got one right here for you. The College Football Playoff. Tulane, representing the great state of Louisiana, they are taking on the Ole Miss Rebels, who are missing Lane Kiffin. But if you get Arnold Barnes and Caden Lee in the end zone, 2 plays, $20, wins you $260. It's that simple. Go put that ball knowledge to the test. Go cash in on game days and make it a better viewing experience and enhance your game day every single week. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And check out the new feature. PrizePicks has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. So use code CLNS when you download the PrizePicks app to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Click the link in the comments or description of this video. All right, I love football. Elijah Vera Tucker. Do you think he's a good fit? Now, admittedly, I don't know everything there is to know about Elijah Vera Tucker. I do know he is a first-round pick out of USC by the Jets, 14th overall back in 2021. Looking at his Pro Football Focus numbers, by the way, he is also out for this season. He hasn't played in 2025, dealing with a torn tricep suffered early in September. So he hasn't played at all this year. But in 2024, had some pretty good numbers. Only allowed 4 sacks, had 5 penalties, 916 snaps played, 777 overall grade, 77.7 overall grade, 74.5 pass blocking grade, 76.3 run blocking grade. He's somebody who has lined up at the right guard position. I think Cesar Ruiz is somebody who needs to be replaced. But I do also know it takes 2 to tango. So if the Jets don't want to bring him back, that's something that you have to consider. If he isn't going to return to New York, the Saints should definitely pursue him. But he has to want to come to New Orleans as well, because he would be a free agent if he were to sign. All in all, I think Elijah Vera Tucker is somebody that the Saints should have their eyes on. And to be totally honest, if the Jets let him go, I think that would be kind of silly. I'm starting to think, like, he hasn't signed like an extension or anything. He hasn't, no 5th-year option or nothing. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. I think it might be worth at least exploring. Aaron Davison, excuse me. What guards will be free agents next year? Elijah Vera Tucker's one. Let me pull up a list here. Guards-wise, I actually think it's better to spend in terms of building that area for the New Orleans Saints in free agency. I know that obviously you want to draft players and you want to get them cheap, but like, I'm going to be totally honest, I would prefer to just spend money there and address the position as a whole and just buy a good O-line. I'm totally okay with that. I'm not above doing that. I'm tired of using high draft capital on offensive linemen. Go get me some freaking weapons. Go get me some guys whose jersey I can buy. Braden Smith, Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Kevin Zeitler, Isaac Sayamalu, Evan Neal, Ethan Pocic, John Simpson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Robert Jones, Zion Johnson, Trevor Penning, Cole Van Lanen, Greg Van Roten, Tevin Jenkins, David Edwards, Brady Christensen, Cordell Volson, Dylan Raines, Liam Eichenberg, Will Hernandez, Lucas Patrick, Ed Ingram, Elijah Wilkinson, Joshua Azudu, Matt Pryor, Aaron Stinney, Dalton Reisner, Ben Barch, David Questenberry, Blake Heads, Dylan Parham, Ben Cleveland, Brett Toth, Daniel Brunskill, Daniel Falele, Xavier Newman Johnson, Cole Strange, Chris Paul. There you go. There's a list of guards for free agents. Thank you, Aaron, for your super chat. William, who do we get in the free agency this offseason? All right, I'm going to go just top players available in free agency next year. Trey Hendrickson will be a free agent. I would say no. Mike Evans, he will not be coming to New Orleans Saints. Christian Kirk, I'm going to pass. Khalil Mack, interesting, but I'll pass on spending money there. Deebo Samuel, that might actually be like an interesting one to kind of keep an eye on. I'm not going to say that the Saints should sprint to go and get him, but maybe worth it. Travis Kelce, he's going to be free agent. I don't think that makes sense. I do know when it comes to the tight end position, David Njoku, also a free agent. That's somebody I'm interested in. Isaiah Likely, tight end, he's somebody to keep your eyes on. Alan Lazard, Jacoby Myers, Jimmy Ward. For what it's worth, Rashid Shaheed is a free agent this offseason. The Seahawks have yet to ink a deal with him at the time of filming this video, so maybe the Saints could do the funniest thing in the world, trade him and then bring him back in free agency. They're going to extend him, but at the time of filming this, he's a free agent. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are going to be free agents this offseason. I think the thing to prioritize is guard in free agency. Go get me a veteran receiver and just bring me some more playmakers, man. I don't think you need to overspend there. I think drafting is a good area to do it, but spend money in a smart fashion where you need to. Taxmaster, what's your prediction for the remaining games? Last 4 games for the season for New Orleans. Versus Carolina, versus New York Jets, at Tennessee Titans, and at Atlanta Falcons. So 2 on the road, 2 at home. We finish the season on the road in Atlanta. I don't think 4-0 is out of the question. I think more realistically, it's 3-1. I think you lose one of the 2 against Carolina or Atlanta. I think you shouldn't have any problem beating the Titans. And I don't think the Jets are that great of a football team either. You shouldn't have a problem beating either of those teams. And I know that a lot of y'all are going to be upset that we win those games because we'll not have the top 5 pick or whatever. To hell with the top 5 pick. I want to win football games, and I want reasons to believe in this football team moving forward. And for what it's worth, I'm totally okay with winning a few more games. Getting to 6-7 wins feels good in year 1 of a rebuild. CTM, and also the narrative would be so different at the end of the season than it would be right now. CTM, do you think a veteran quarterback presence is still needed, or do you think we're good for now? When it comes to this season, my answer is if they wanted a veteran quarterback, why wouldn't they have signed one by now? Like, the New Orleans Saints very clearly operate under the mindset that they view Kellen Moore, Doug Nussmeier, and Scott Tolzien, they view that as like their veteran quarterback presence. But like, I don't think that it would be a bad idea to go get a Jameis type player where it's somebody who can bring good vibes, hold the clipboard, be there to keep the team happy, and a pinch can go in there if he needs to. But like, I don't think that you absolutely need it. Like, Tyler Shough does have a ton of experience. He's 26 years old. He's a man. Like, should they? Maybe. I don't think they need it, though. Jerry G. Jason Loco, in the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft, which position would you prefer? Defensive end or wide receiver? It depends on the pick. It depends on who's the board. I think that if you go receiver, if you go like a Jordan Tyson, Carnell, let me just give you a list of players. Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese. I like Ruben Bain. I'm starting to not love Ruben Bain. Like, I think if you get one of those 5 guys, I'm totally happy. It really doesn't matter. Like, I think the edge is definitely an important one. I think just a defensive stud is an important one. I would say probably wide receiver. Give me a weapon in the first round. Like, it would be fun to have Jordan Tyson. It would be fun to have Carnell Tate. I think it would really open things up. Billy, Jeremiah Love too. Is this the best Saints draft class since 2017? Yes, I think so. I think it's still a little early to say that every pick was a hit. We obviously haven't seen Vernon Broughton in a regular season. We haven't seen enough from Danny Stutzman, which is ridiculous, but he still needs more tape. He is going to be amazing. We already know that, but I want to see more from him. The Maliki Madavao and Fadil Diggs picks probably will go down as like whatever. I mean, they're 7th-round picks, so, it is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, you got your bookend left tackle in Kelvin Banks. Tyler Shuck, this whole conversation revolves around whether or not he's a hit. If he stinks and he isn't a hit, then this draft class will be viewed as like dud. But if he hits, then it's going to be awesome. Devin Neal, Vernon Broughton, Danny Stutzman, Quincy Riley, Jonas Sanker, I think all studs, man, and they're all already contributing at a high level. And I do think that Quincy Riley can be a number 2 corner for sure, without a doubt. Joe Payne, Trizzy, do you think that this will be Taysom's last season with the Saints? I do. And I don't think it's the last season just with the Saints. I think it's his last season in the National Football League as a whole. His story is awesome. He's a really, really fun player. He should end up in the Hall of Fame one day. But at the end of the day, I also don't think that he has much of a future left playing football. He's 35, coming right off of a severe knee injury. I think he's going to play out his contract, do the right thing, go and retire off into the sunset. And I wouldn't be surprised if a handful of players do that. Like Demario Davis is a free agent this offseason. He could honestly play to the time he's 50. He will be fine. But, like, could see him potentially considering retirement. Cam Jordan could consider retirement. Alvin Kamara could consider retirement. There's a lot of guys who I think that this is kind of the final stretch, if you will, for a lot of these guys in New Orleans. But that being said, nothing but love to Taysom Hill, but he needs to stop being a key part of the offense. It's just very clear that that's not the case anymore. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. I appreciate you for tuning in to today's video, no matter where you are, how you're watching. We always appreciate the Who Dat Nation for taking some time out of the day to hang out with us here on Saints Now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want more content around these videos, and you want to continue the conversation, hit me up on social media. Just search up Trizzy Trace on any of your favorite social media platforms, or you click the link in the comments or description of this video. Thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring. My name is Trizzy. For Loco Lopez, y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Cesar Ruiz or Sabrina Carpenter? I bet Sabrina Carpenter could be a better guard. I bet she would do a better job of creating running lanes for Devin Neal.
She definitely would. Low man gets paid. She would win. Low man.
Yeah. No doubt. Joe, that was a pretty funny question. Yeah, a lot of people are saying no on Penning. I was not suggesting to sign Trevor Penning. I was just listing in a list.
Giggle.
Yes. Tragic. Who Dat Jerry? Shout out to Tragic, brother. Tragic 504. Taysom had a tackle in the last game against the Bucks. Taysom for linebacker. Well, it's not Taysom. But no. There you go. All right, we're going to sign off here. We'll give you guys 2 minutes to get any last-second Super Chats. If we get Super Chats, we'll stay. If not, we'll sign off. But we've been live for about an hour and a half here, and we got some more work to do. So we are going to hop off soon unless you guys want to continue the party. If we do get a Super Chat, we'll stick around, but if not, we will sign off. Had a lot of fun. Saints fans, we finally get the news we've been waiting for. Tyler Shuck, it seems to be that he is the guy. It seems to be that he is somebody who can take over this team for the future, and he's somebody that I think we should all have a little bit of faith in, to be totally honest. So, just going to say it. Just going to put that out there.
It was a very chill show today.
Yeah, it was a chill show. Got a bunch of Super Chats, too, which was pretty cool. Did not expect that on a Monday. But, hey, I guess vibes are high on after Victory Monday. Yeah, the deal stands. $20. I'll do a shotgun. I'll make it. Hey, here's the deal. If we get $20 Super Chat, we'll stay live for an extra 5 minutes. I'll shotgun a beer, then we'll go home. How's that sound? 60 seconds. 60 seconds for that deal. What do you think about Nicholas Singleton, Trizzy?
Is he the guy ahead of the depth chart of Patreon?
Yes. Nicholas Singleton, what do I think about him? I think that he has 123 carries for 549 yards and 13 touchdowns. I think he also has 24 catches for 219 yards and 1 touchdown. So that's pretty cool. I don't know a ton about Nicholas Singleton. I haven't done enough scouting on the running back area yet. I've been kind of looking at wide receivers. And honestly, I haven't just done a ton of over scouting. I'm just kind of watching college football, just enjoying it right now. And then I'll get back to watching the tape later on. But what do I think about him? I'm not going to use a first-round pick on him, but sure, why not?
He was supposed to be really good coming into this year, so only 500 yards. Kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. It's not 500 yards. He averages 4.5 per carry. I'm like, okay, it's cool, I guess. I'm not sprinting to go
you were
inside,
supposed to be an
him.
elite college running back this year, and it's not sounding elite.
No.
Maybe it looks different in the Penn State game.
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I just hit myself in the head. 1. All right, we're going to sign off. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us here on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your Victory Monday. I hope y'all had a great day. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see y'all next time.